some good moves. And then with Kiko, actually si Kiko pasok na sa 12 sa SWS. So if you put SWS and Pulse Asia together, ang lakas ng chance ni Kiko Pangilinan. And then with Bam Aquino, well, Bam Aquino has one thing going for him. And one thing that is going for Bam Aquino is there's the Lenny factor. And that's very, very interesting, guys. Kasi si Lenny, um, I think parang said something along the lines na this time naman siya naman babawi, 'di ba? Because in fairness, the chief architect of the pink movement, the whole Lenny campaign that got Lenny from 3% to 20 plus percent, what 25%, was really Bam Aquino. Now obviously there was a core team, there were a lot of other advisors, there was the usual analytics and all of that, but in fairness, Bam was the chief architect of both Lenny's successful campaign in 2016 when she won the vice presidency against Marcos Jr. And then in 2022, although natalo si Lenny went from 3% to what 25, 23, 22%, right? Like that's a huge jump. And in both cases, Bam Aquino played a very important role. So kung now, because halos sigurado si Lenny na manalo sa Naga. And by the way, nakita ko actually hindi pala sigurado si Villafuerte. May survey ako nakita na si Villafuerte 40% na lang. May chance pa matalo pa mga Villafuerte sa gubernatorial race. But anyway, speaking of Naga, knock on the wood, ang laki ng chance na yung the team Naga, the good guys, the good people will win, right? So with Lenny having that kind of essentially cushion, I think she's really in a good position to go all in and support Bam Aquino. And as I said, really Bam should embrace the pink color, should embody the pink color, and should remind people of the pink color. And I think with Lenny coming back, that could add a boost. So I think itong numbers nila Bam and Kiko can still go higher. In terms of awareness, I think they have already hit the universal awareness. So that's already a huge jump. So the next stage is to look for the bump, and the next stage is to see whether the Lenny effect could make a big difference. Because Kiko was Lenny's running mate, and Bam was Lenny's campaign manager, right? So the Lenny factor could be big not only in Bicol, but if they manage to mobilize yung mga residual pink movement supporters na medyo siguro naging disaffected or nag-switch off or switch out of politics but could be won back. Remember, we're looking at the difference of 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. I don't think that's impossible. I mean, for all we know, if Lenny goes all in support of these two candidates, she might be able to bring in the few million support. Kasi, tignan mo yung mga kalaban nila. Ito mga kalaban nila, feeling ko, ito na talaga to eh. This is it. This is their pick na eh. This is their pick na, and then they're konti-konti na lang. I mean, Erwin has been consistent at 60%, Bongo between 45-50%. Like, steady na to mga to eh. But for Kiko and Bam to beat Lito Lapid, Camille Villar, Abby Binay, and Bato, that's very doable. Kasi potentially, I'm looking at, ito, bilangin natin, Erwin Tulfo, Bongo, Tito Soto, Ben Tulfo, Cayetano, Bong Revilla, Lacson, Willie, parang yung 8 lang na yan ng sure para sa akin. Even Pacquiao, parang suddenly I'm thinking twice about it. So essentially, 7 to 8 ang halos sigurado sa akin kasi ang layo na nila sa lahat. So that means there's 4 spots open pa eh. And in these 4 open spots, hindi ganyan kalayong numbers nila Kiko and Bam from, let's say, Lito Lapid, Camille Villar. Although si Camille Villar, hindi magkakulang yan sa alam natin. And Binay Manny Pacman. In fact, Kiko already beats some of these people that I mentioned, right, in this SWS survey. Right? So that's very interesting. So for me, ang dito sa mga nakikita natin dito, siguro 6 to 8 maximum ang sure win. And that's already like assuming no significant changes kasi there will be senatorial debates, there could be some, kung may October surprise sa US, there could be I don't know, March or April surprise or April Fool's moment. But I would say siguro 6 dito halos sigurado ako pasok sila eh. So that means between 4 to 6 slots are still competitive, highly competitive. And if Lenny manages to bring in a few million lang, even probably 1 or 2 million, that gives a very good chance for Kiko and Bam to make it. And for me, let's not forget, winning in this race, sobrang big deal yan. Because, unang-una, sabi ko, itong pinakamahigpit na race. Imagine mo, actually kung bababa ka, pupunta ka pa sa page 2, meron kang makikita pang mga super vloggers, andun yung si Mark Oleta, andun si Chavit Singson, like, so actually, grabe to eh. Even yung i-fold mo ng 2-3 pages, puro mga kilalang pangalan eh. So for you to have a good chance to win in such a competitive race na meron kang Willie Revilla may type, meron kang Pacman, meron kang Lito Lapid, meron kang very well-researched people like the Binays and the Villars and the Marcoses, meron kang mga super momentum people like the Tulfos, and then meron kang returnees Tito Soto, and then meron kang super DDS like Bongo, and then meron kang isa pa yan, well-resourced Cayetano, di ba? And then meron kang super Budots, Bong Revilla, yung mga ganun. Like, ang hirap tong race na to, guys. On surface, this is probably the most difficult race I've seen. In recent memory, this is the pinakamaigpit yan. Kasi marami nagtanong sa akin nung bago mag-eleksyon. Sa tingin mo ba, dapat tumakbo si ganito? Or sa tingin mo, dapat ako tumakbo? Sabi ko, this is probably gonna be the most difficult one. Right? Just wait this out. Diba? May dalawang Tulfo ka na highly competitive. Meron kang Cayetano. May returning kang Tito Soto. May Ping Lacson ka na may steady base and solid base, and I think Ping Lacson is in very good position to come back kasi he's seen as a kind of a serious fiscalizing type. My goodness, meron kang Binay, meron kang Villar, meron kang Lito, Batang Probinsyano, Lapid, meron kang Willie, Wawa, Revilla. I mean, my good, meron kang Manny, Pacman, Pacquiao. I mean, this is crazy, guys. This is like insane race. So first of all, for Kiko to be in Magic 12 in at least the SW survey, which is very high caliber survey, and for both Bam and Kiko to be just within the range, this is very impressive. This is absolutely impressive. It doesn't mean they're gonna win. It doesn't mean tapos ng laban. I'm just saying just the fact that they're within the range or already in the range, in the case of SWS, it's very impressive. Pangalawa, it's very impressive in light of the fact that di ba wala namang machinery at saka budget tong mga to eh. Ang labanan ngayon, essentially DDS versus admin. And Bam and Kiko are neither admin nor DDS. So they're actually the least resourced. Sila yung pinakamaliit ng makinarya. Right? Sila ang pinaka-organic support lang. So the fact that they have a good chance, that tells you something na actually you can beat the machine, or at least you can go toe-to-toe with the machine. The machinery of the admin and the machinery of the Dutertes. Now, wag na natin pag-usapan saan galing yung machinery na or saan galing yung lubricants ng machine na yan. But do you get what I'm saying? As in, hindi ko naman sasabihin na pobre, pero sobrang thin budget sila Kiko at saka Bam. My goodness, tingnan mo yung mga highest expenditures. Alam niyo na yan, di ba? Anak ni Cynthia daw, yung kapatid ni daw, yan. Like, sobrang konti ng budget nila, and yet they're this competitive. That's impressive. Number 3, bakit sobrang impressive na within range or already pasok sa Magic 12? Well, you would have thought na 2016, Duterte wins. 2019, 8-0. 2022, Uniteam wins, right? You would think that after 3 back-to-back-to-back defeats for the liberals and liberal progressives, wala na, tapos na. It's a totally new era, new regime and all. And yet, and Aquino has a chance in the most celebrity, billionaire, oligarchic, competitive race ever. Kiko Pangilinan, after his defeat in 2022, to come back and be within the range. And with very limited resources, again, big factor yan. And then, number 4 reason why I would say this is very impressive is because, sa aking palagay, to be honest, I don't think the Lenny factor has been fully activated yet. Kakasimula lang ni Lenny to actively promote Bam Aquino and to try to give back and all. So if you give it 1 month more, 2 months more, and 3 months more, who knows? That could have a big impact. So for me, a top 14-15 finish for a progressive liberal, under-resourced, marginalized candidates is already impressive. And if should they make it to Magic 12, at least 1 or 2 of them, it's really remarkable. And then, what's even more important, ang mas mahalaga pa dito is yung posibilidad na after all, kung papakinggan natin si ni Cheese Escudero, it looks like the decisive moment will really come after elections dito sa impeachment ni Sara Duterte. So, what this also shows is that candidates who are clearly seen as anti-Duterte, right? Kasi yung iba parang Tolentino, anong dating Duterte yan, tapos minsan paano pa. Bam Aquino and Kiko are clearly anti-Duterte people. And for them to have a good chance, that means that should they make it to the Senate, right, it shows you that first, lumalaki yung constituencies ng mga anti-Duterte at humihina yung mga Duterte. And number two, given the track record ng itong dalawang senador na ito, walang corruption, walang bahit na corruption, walang bahit na duda sa kanilang integridad, at walang bahit na duda sa kanilang talino, right? Hindi naman siguro gumagamit ng ChatGPT doon sa kanilang press statement ng apology. Walang ka pebbles, di ba? Walang ka and walang ka troll farm. Walang troll farms tong mga to, walang budget tong mga to, di ba? Walang alam mo na, di ba? Deep fake, cheap fake support base mga to. If they make it to the Senate, they could significantly turn the momentum in a direction of accountability for all of the Mary Grace Piatos and all of sa lahat ng mga kababalakan na nangyari. And for all you know, if Kiko makes it, if Bam make it, if both of them make it together with Risa, and then baka isa lang baka Bongo lang manalo, and if Bongo is isolated in the next Senate, may teammate lang niya siguro si Robin Hood, mga ganyan, then we're in a very interesting situation whereby accountability is suddenly not something. Kasi ganito na lang guys, you don't want to leave it to the Marcos camp to decide matters of accountability, right? You want people who already have, right, who already have a track record of fighting for good governance, or at the very least, walang track record ng Mary Grace or Piatos. You want those people to have a say on questions of accountability, right? Kasi it's so easy to say, ano lang yan power play lang yan if Marcos versus Duterte. But if the Riza Ontiveros types, if Kiko Pangilinan types, if Bam Aquino types have a say dun sa issue ng impeachment ng mga other things, then alam mo na ito ang usapan talagang hustisya. Ito ay usapin accountability, right?